So continuing to look at some utility functions that will be useful in your machine learning journey in Python. With your data frames, what you can do is you can print the data that you see. So previously we printed the data frames using our simple print statement. So here we have a simple print statement versus this print statement over here. So the differences, as you can see, are by using this print df head, what it's automatically going to do is rather than print everything. So if you have, for example, thousands of records, you don't want to print everything. What you can do is you can use your data frame name over here. So that's our data frame over here that we defined, and it got created by this. And we will now want to print this. So within the print statement, you can say data frame variable. So that's a variable name, dot head, open parentheses, close parentheses. And what you can do is you don't have to reuse this toString method. So if I create this bit over here, you can actually just leave that bit out, and we can see the all three different formats for this one. So if I were to run this, what you will see, the first one will look like this. So you can see it looks like that. The second one looks pretty much the same. So if we have a look at our code here, so what we did was the first one has this toString method, and what you can do is you can show the indexes. So indexes are the values on the side here. So you can see this is the index number over here. But with the toString method, as you can see, you can change now to false. And now if I were to run this again, what you will see is in the print, the first one that does toString, the indexes have now disappeared. Whereas if you were to not use the toString method and just use print head, then it will always print the indexes. So the reason for having this toString is it converts it to a more presentable format, and you can then customize it to your liking. And the final one, of course, was print data frame. What that does is prints all the records in your data. So here you can see if I were to, the first one printed only the 5 elements, but the next one printed all 9 of them. So here we have all 9 elements being printed, whereas previously if you use the head function, then you can see that you only get the 5 elements starting at 0. So this is important to understand why we use head. And you might be wondering, how do they know 5? It's because if you hover over that, you can see that the default value is 5. So by default, if you don't tell it what n is, it will use the first 5 elements.